Welcome back to Truly Heal and day 3 of the 7 lessons that guarantee a stunning career as a health coach, health practitioner, or educator to inspire the world with health. In this video today, we look at the organizing after we determine the purpose, what you want to do, then how to become an expert in your field. We now look at structuring an environment, a working environment for you that allows you to build the career and the income that you want. And that is something which is very detailed planning. The more planning you do in this field, the more success you will have. And it's about investing very little time, earning enough money, and achieving that with the proper structure that is planned right from the start. And before we get into it, it really is important that you know what you want to achieve. See, a lot of people have that desire. They want to save the world. And that's a fair statement. I want to help many people. This is a legacy that I want to leave behind. You can create a charity organization, don't earn money from it. Or you want to be successful, achieving something outstanding, which for me was very important. I wanted to bring that change and achieve something that really leaves a legacy behind that people can use for eternity. Or you want to earn money. Now you can make a percentage to each, and that's what I usually like to do, because if you don't get rewarded for your work, it's not real fun. In my case, some people might not think so, but you need to put that figure for in yourself. In the same way, success, if you don't want to stand up front, if you want to put everything up front and you're just in the background, very wise decision. It's not dependent on you. You build a business based on the structure, so the success is more related to business, not in relationship to you or how you want to help people. So that's opening 3 questions. How do you want to save the world? Number 1, and just write it in less than 20 words. I want to change the way how degenerative diseases are treated in this world. Now, my original statement was, I want to change how cancer is treated in this world, but I widened it to degenerative diseases because we realize there is a lot more that we can deal with the same protocol than just cancer. I want to help Lyme disease patients to learn about all possible treatments that can help. So if that's your purpose and you really have that as a statement, it will help you really well to focus forward. I want to offer patients heavy metal toxicity and the best detox possibilities. So it really makes it clear, dependent on what your own problem is, what you want to resolve. So you formulate that in less than 20 words. The more precise you get it, the better it will be. Then next exercise would be, I'm successful when I have a buzzing practice or coaching practice with a waiting list of at least 3 months. Put that, when do you reach your success level? What is the goal that you would like to do? A lot of people start out with a very vague dream, which means they're going in a very vague direction. The more precise you jot down what you want to achieve, the more accurate you will be able to achieve it. It really is like, I want to travel to America, or you want to go to the Grand Canyon. It really targets everything, and you'll get there a lot more accurate and precisely with proper planning. And that's the same thing here. So I am successful when I'm known as one of the leading experts in my field, when I have a published book, whatever you want to do to clarify that success level, that career level that you want to achieve. Then you move in the next one, how much money do you want to earn? And don't put fantasy figures down. Really make a proper calculation. The more accurate you put that figure down, the more likely you will reach it. And again, it's something, when you put down $5,000 for a house and $600 for a car and this, and you put all those prices down, then that can be extremely intimidating. On the other side, there is people who make that in a week. So it's not impossible. The higher you go, the more you need to stretch. Depending on where you are now, that can be a huge stretch. Do you remember lesson 1? And I should actually scroll back to that slide so that we remind you. If I have the purpose and I have a massive purpose and I have financially really little value, little success, I don't have enough money, well, then that stretch will be big if you put big numbers down. So it takes longer, it's more work, it's more effort than if you put realistic numbers down. And that's why I really recommend you not to jump into unrealistic expectations and put down values that are completely out of whack. What you think you need and what you can achieve. So what your studies cost, write it down, what your education costs, what your tools are that you need to open up your practice. The driving with the car, holidays, everything, travel costs, all that, write it down and then divide it by 12 so that you have a monthly income figure. And that will be a lot easier than to determine what you need to sell, how many products, what kind of products, what you need to earn from them, instead of just, dreaming from big numbers and then not being able to achieve them because you have nothing for sale. Okay, so always add to whatever you calculated here a 30% saving add-on, which is something that I always recommend to put aside. You don't want just to earn money to spend. You want money to build more capital, to build more income streams. It's a very important factor, and we'll discuss that in the financial section because that really will change how you look at finances in the future. So that's number 3, really pinpoint it, and then start dreaming, start the process. This is actually one of the charts that I love most because it clarifies the process. When you have a goal, and let's say we have a goal, I want to have many clients, you can put in a number, workshops and retreats and teach them. That's my goal. That's my dream that I would like to have. A retreat to a year, 4 workshops a year, and a lot of clients that sign up through those workshops or buy products. That's my plan. All right. Now, I'm successful when I have all of them booked out, or at least 3 or 4, and I want to earn that much money per month. We did that in the previous calculation. And you have your workshops all solid booked. That's the goal. Now you have a dream. That's what we call on the right-hand side. When I have that, I'll be successful. And we can just go to the next slide where we list all the positive things. I give a lot of hope to many people. I help them in need. I gain or achieve fame and recognition, world travels. Whatever you plan, you can list a whole lot of things. Now, these are motivating factors. These are the reasons why you do it. Again, you need lots of whys to overcome the problems. So list everything that makes you feel great about the project. If you have a lot of social, save the world factors, and that's a high percentage, well, then write everything down because of the suffering that you relieve and the people that you can help, the gratitude that you will earn. On the other side, if it's more financial, well, then write down because what you can afford, your status that will change, how you can live in a different place, how you can afford a better school for your children. All of that should be listed. Again, we're talking about self-motivation. And to achieve that, you need to have a lot of dreams. The more you put down, the more you will be able to move forward. But then we start the other side, and that's very important because a lot of people don't do that. Worry. Donald Trump said, very nice, I hire a bunch of lawyers and legal people and accountants to tear down my dream. And then they start collecting, all the worries, all the problems, hard to find clients, big education task. If you approach a subject where people really have no understanding, it takes a lot of education to get them into your door. So if that's the case, well, you need to create the education, you need to share it, you take it to the world for people to understand, and then they become your clients. So that could be a big lesson. Overcoming self-doubt, credibility and reputation. I don't have a doctor's title. They won't trust me. Well, I don't have that, but still people trust me. So how do I build that up? See, all of the fears that are relevant to what you want to achieve need to be listed. And I actually recommend you ask a friend, you ask someone to help you with that. because they will see a lot more problems than you might if you're dream dancing. Positive thinkers, they always just look at all the dreams and hope they come true. They still dream after years. Whereas those people, as you can see in the image, they are stuck. They will never move forward because they see too many problems, too many worries, too many challenges. Now you remember when we look at this first image, you see all the dreams, you see the greatness of your endeavor that you want to achieve, but you also see all the problems that need to be overcome. And they are there. I guarantee there is nothing without equal benefits and drawbacks. So when I have my dream, I know I need to rattle the cage. I need to challenge existing beliefs. I need to get out there and create fame. So that is a task. Now, if you see both of them to equal measures, you're in the middle. You're balanced. You can go straight towards your goal. And the process is actually pretty simple. You write down all your worries, all your fears, and solve them. Again, it's pretty simple. Loads of work. Find outsourcing or partners that can help you. Divide your tasks that need to be done and give them to people who have a passion, who have knowledge in that field and can do it for you, like creating PDFs or videos, and set a very targeted job list that needs to be done. How to find clients? Pretty simple. If I don't know, do I have clients in that field? How can I get them? Then do research. It's very simple. First of all, you can create a Facebook group and post images and see that people sign up. Is there enough interest? You can do Google research. And again, we teach that in our masterminds and in our classes, because that's a very relevant question to find out, is there enough audience that will buy your product, that is interested in solving that problem? Again, there is many ways. You can look at forums and groups and how many people have signed up for that particular problem so that you have the ability to hone in on them and then how to reach them. Overcoming self-doubt. Start teaching each lesson. You remember from our education part, from our passion. Well, simple. Create little lessons that you start teaching, and then it's not so scaring, because as soon as you develop that skill of teaching, you will recreate that ripple effect, and that will take self-doubt away. Credibility and reputation. Finish your certification and then teach, share, and educate. And with every feedback that you get, you will grow. So it's a process. Like a plant doesn't grow as a tree. It's a process to get there. And in the same is for you. So solving all of your fears with a very dedicated list is a beautiful job, because it takes the fear out of the process. And we do that. And that's why first do this list, write down as many as you can, and then make a solving list. Any step that needs to be done to get that resolved. And then set a deadline. Have you ever worked? I'm going to be doing this year. It will never be finished. Whereas if you say it needs to be finished by the 6th of October, you preferably put out a date of launch and opening, and you create everything around it so that you're forced to hold it. I guarantee it will be in the last few days that go really frantic, but you'll make it. So setting a date, deadline for every step is very important, and hold to it as much as you can. I'm always running a few days late, but that's fair. I know that already now, and I put that extra pressure on me to get there. And that's why this is one of the relevant factors that you shouldn't forget. Now let's talk about the product. Really important. If you want to earn money, you need to think about, what do you have to sell? And that could be as simple as an affiliate product. We'll talk about that in a moment. A drop ship product, which means you buy something from someone and they ship it to your clients. Beautiful. You have no stock, you have no risk, you have nothing. You just advertise, promote, and sell from your cart. And as soon as your cart has made the sale, it sends an email to your drop shipper and they will ship it out. Beautiful concept. No danger whatsoever. You get the retail price and they charge you the wholesale price, so you have your difference in between. Now, just because we have that right now on the plate, that's important. Don't think about what you sell without subtracting your cost. Always subtract how much they charge, the shipping, refund, whatever, restocking fee. Make a very accurate calculation so that you know, okay, on this product I earn $20. This product makes me $600. This one makes me $2,500. In the beginning I thought small products sell easier. Same work as a big product. Identical. The more you create that love for the product and the information and education to sell a product, it doesn't matter what you sell. Even high-priced products sell easily, and I'm living proof of that. So in that regard, dropship products are great. Wholesale products, then you buy in bulk and sell it, but then you need to ship and warehouse. And intellectual products, really great because you can replicate them and make a course like this and send it and sell it and sell it and sell it. You have no additional cost. Once done, it sells forever. And as many clients as you get through the door, you have net profit. Really beautiful. Now, knowledge, education, coaching, seminars, workshops, very easy, but also you need to look at the rent and insurance and all of that, public liability. If you finish our coaching program, you have public liability insurance, and that gives you the ability to hire any kind of community room where you need those insurances. So it's really great to have that, and then you can hire them for a very low fee. Get 20 people in and promote your product, sell your product. Whether that product is then your time, hour by hour, or a package deal. You sell 5 hours for, let's say, course finding, and help your client to find the course, work through their whole analysis so that you make a recommendation sheet, what they need to do in order to resolve their disease, or whether you offer retreats, treatments, consultations. It doesn't matter, but it needs to be packaged. It needs to be a product somebody can click and buy. Very important. Don't be vague. Don't come out with any kind of fantasies. Package deals are best because people love to have packages, and you define exactly what they get and explain it as accurate as possible. So very important, this first step, to define your product and know exactly what your product margin is, how much you will earn, because that will tell you afterwards how many you need to sell to get to your dream number that you wanted to achieve, all right? And always work towards being proud of what you have to sell. It's something that will never finish. Like every product we do, once it's done, I think, I could have done that a little bit better. I could have added that. And that will not stop. So don't let that hinder you from finish a product. You will never get to that end stage because that will change over time. Right now, you make the best you can do, be proud of it, start selling, and then you can do updates and improvements at a later stage. But first get to that point where you have something for sale. Now, what do you sell? Service, product, or education? I like education because it creates that ripple effect. Products, very easy, very simple, not a lot of work. Service can be very time limiting. I have only a certain number of hours that I can sell, and that can be challenging. That's where I rather make a workshop, because I have 25 people, 20 or 40 people in a room, and then I can teach them all at once, and I can promote my products. So there is calculations that you need to do depending on what your goals are. How much can you charge? Very important question. Always look at what is general practice. I was way too cheap with our coaching program because we didn't check what others charge. We just thought that's the value. Well, then people came and said, why are you so cheap? That's a question you don't want to hear. So check what everybody else is charging and then compare. There is actually a really important lesson in that. What's the range? Very cheap to very expensive. And then study your competition. What do they do? What's the difference between a low and a high price? If somebody has a high price, what do they actually offer? Can you top that? Can you make it better? Can you make it higher quality? Or do you rather want to put yourself in the middle? A lot harder to sell in the middle than at the top end or at the low end. And I tell you what, the low end isn't better because you're not regarded as good as the other one. And there is so many people who look for the best quality. If they make that investment, they want to have the best quality. A lot of people think when I have a cheap practitioner, well, then I have a cheap quality. So if I have a very expensive doctor, if I have a very expensive coach, I'm going to have much better success. They associate your self-value with the quality they get. I have doctors that charge $500, $700 for an hour. They are booked out. And others charge a few pennies and they give you hours for free just that you come, and they have no clients. Don't fall into the trap. Your self-value, your pride of your product will determine whether people are prepared to pay or not. Not the price. The price is not relevant. So that's very important. How many people need your product? We talked about that already before. It's a valid question. If you have something nobody wants, there is actually, when you sell products on Amazon, you realize that there is certain products, they are not moving. They are stuck. They sit there and the stock doesn't move at all. We do a lot of Amazon research. And it's not good when you sit on a product pile. So you need to check, is there a demand first? How is the demand? What is my advertising to make it interesting for people before you go there? But we'll do that when we hit the marketing department, the social factor. What is your target audience and the ideal client? We always ask, what is the ideal client? Who do you want to work with? Do I want to work with people that I have to drag up the hill like an old cow or push up the hill? That I have to motivate, that they do something, that I, need to beg that they continue? I don't care. I want motivated people. I want passionate people. Look what we do with our training program. Who do we filter out? People that just want to have a free course or get some information, they get enough. I want to work with people who have passion, who have drive, who have motivation. That's what is my description of the ideal client. And I want smart people. I want intelligent people. I want people that think outside the box. I don't want those parrots that sit on a line and proclaim, their half-truth. And that's a very important step in your process too. Who do you want to work with? What type of people, and what is your target audience? And then how can you reach your clients? See, it's a very simple thing today with Google AdWords, and I'll talk about that in a different chapter when we talk about our marketing and social status. But it's so easy today to get very targeted clients. You have probably come to this page from Google advertising when you clicked on one of our ads. You've searched for it and you got your right click. You came to the site, you read the headline and you say, okay, that's something I'm interested in. I sign up. Now that means it cost me for a client to come to our site between 50 cents and $1 or $2. And once you're there, it filters out. So let's say I have 100 clients that come. It costs me probably about $20 per client that signs up to this free training. And then they filter out into those who want to buy. I tell you what, that's the most relevant, the most clear focus that you can get into a business. I have a coach set out an advertisement for local cause finding and scared of cancer. I think I have a slide later on. But it was phenomenal, the feedback from a single Facebook ad that was going out for 1 month and created 75 times the investment in returns. What else do you want? We live in a dream time. It's not difficult to get clients. It's absolutely easy. And you don't need to write massive blogs and do all sorts of things. You target the specific client to come to a landing page and sell your product. And that's all you want to do. So how much do you need to invest for advertising? If you do it wise, if you do it well, not a lot at all. And you have very relevant clients, not browsing people, relevant clients that technically search for you, and then you provide the service. But we'll cover that in our marketing department. Next step, is affiliate marketing. And a lot of people don't do it. They sign up, but then they don't do anything. I earn a whole lot of money from affiliate, and I pay affiliate commissions. We have probably about 200 affiliates listed, and about 4 earn super money. The rest doesn't do anything. So if you just have it, just for the sake of having it, it's not going to earn money. But if you promote it well, if you get actively engaged, if you push it, if you love the product and you write reviews about it and you promote it, you can make a whole lot of money. So when you look at what coaches can earn from that, that can be more than sufficient. They don't need to work. And that's a great way. And we'll talk about that in great detail as well in the training, in the coaching program, because I want you to be having your money that you invest for the course back long time before you finish, and then earn regular income streams so that you can finance equipment and everything you need very easily out of your income from affiliate marketing. Reduce time wasters. Now that's more when you're already set. Let's say you have your product, you've set up your company, you have everything. There is a tendency to waste a lot of time just because you're not organized. And this is where organizing really comes in. Repeated questions. I have, from selling PMF, for example, tons of questions. Now we created so many videos, training videos and everything. And I just created many, many answers, and we have them in a Q&A. And if somebody writes or asks a question about PMF, they get an answer back, which is already preset. Very simple. No work, no stress, no drama. We just pick the right video that is relevant to the question and send it back. Yes, that was 2 days of work to create the answers, maybe 2 days more to create all the videos and training videos, and that's it. So don't repeat. Don't do the same work over and over again, because it's frustrating. And when you get tired and then you don't do it, and then you get complaining clients, and then you lose credibility. It doesn't work. Time wasters need to be resolved as practical as possible. Repeating long explanations. Create a little video or make a PDF. Our expert guide goes out. I think we have 16,000 people that have downloaded that, and they learn from it. They get more and more information. We have now an updated version, and that just gives so much information out, and the ripple effect is phenomenal. They pass that on to friends. It goes out, and it brings us more sales than anybody else. So repeated long explanations, pack them into a little course, into a training, into a PDF, so that you don't need to do it. Let's say you do a coaching practice and clients sign up with you. They come through the door and you do the same spill and explain the whole lot and over and over again. From client 100 on, you know it by heart, but it's a waste of time. Now, if somebody signs up with me, what do they get? Or with Sabrina? They get prior a whole range of explanation, training, preparation, because they need to wait until they get their booking. And during that time, they go through a whole education program. When they come through the door, all said. Focus on what's essential. Focus on what's necessary, which means I can run through a lot more clients in a short time than taking the time and explaining everything from scratch. That's where this is a huge time saver. And think about, you work with your client more efficiently, more targeted, you are prepared, you have educated clients. See, that's one of my aspects. I don't like to work with people who sit there and when I say sugar is also in bread and it's in rice and it's in, really? That's fascinating the first 2 times, but then it's not. So creating that video up front will make a huge transformation. They learn, they repeat until they come and have their consultation. It's all done. Repeated required tests or any kind of prerequisites. This is probably more relevant for patients if you have patients as a health practitioner. Instead of having the client come and then you work with them, well, you can make that initial appointment and then you require them to do this and this and this test to get your functional status quo in place. And then they come back. If they come from overseas, I send them the requirement list. And then they do their tests in their own country. And once they have the results, they send them back to me. Really simple, really easy. Time saver. That's 3 weeks waiting time saved. And when the client comes, I have all the information that I need to work efficiently. Again, that requires not a lot of doing, it just requires planning. It's one sheet that I prepare. Depending on what the client has filled out in their questionnaire, I tick, 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 tick. That's what they need because it's obvious that these are problematic areas. Send that to them, they do the test, and then I have the results and I can work with them. I tell you what, this is one of the factors that has driven me crazy in many clinics. They just don't do that. They have the client come in and then they do a chelation test. Takes 3 weeks to get results. Usually they don't even have the results before the client leaves, which means it's blind treatment. Don't do that. Plan properly, streamline your time wasters, make that as efficient as you can, because the credibility that comes back to you, the efficiency, is something clients admire. You know, they are usually not well organized. So what do? They look up to someone who is well organized. And that's one of the things that will make a huge difference. And the same thing, you know, I don't like research. Lucky I have Sabrina. She's very efficient. But if I want to have a certain subject, I type that into Upwork or Elance and I have my research all listed, beautiful. I have already my contractors, a stunning work. Outsourcing, transcribing, programming, help desk, social media, all of that can be handed out. If you don't like to do it, pass it on. But don't sit and waste your time. I tell you one thing which is most crucial. Product. Focus on your product. Do nothing else but create the most stunning product. Wrap it as beautiful as you can. Wrap it as nicely as you can. Make as many adjoining factors so that it becomes high value. And we'll talk about that when we talk about marketing. But that is the major priority that you have. Once you have that, it's very simple. Because let's face it, if you have a product, all you need to do is one landing page, one sales page where you have exactly what a client gets from you. And then you lead targeted traffic to that and you make super sales. And no big blogs and no big drama and no big publicity. Very clear and focused. And that's what we decided to help you with. Our main issue with this whole setup, with this whole program, is just keeping you in check. You will probably have 1,000 ideas and then never get finished with one. That's why we bring you to that one place where you finish one product and then achieve financial rewards with that. What do you do when you save all the time wasters? Well, improve the quality of your service. Create more products and advertise wisely and convert. This is a stunning thing. I have now an outsourced young man from Russia, and he does my whole pay-per-click. He brought my cost from $50 or $60 a client down to something like $30. Huge savings and a lot more effective. So he's got the job. He's doing it, he's monitoring it, and it doesn't cost me a fraction of what I had to invest myself. So very easy. And that's what I mean. Advertise wisely. Again, we have a class in our coaching program where we teach you pay-per-click. And I actually offer you that service. You have to pay for it yourself. It's an hourly rate. It's not expensive. You probably can imagine, but extremely effective. So getting a local advertisement, in your area that promotes your service is really not a big investment. And it converts really beautiful into ongoing clients that search for you and your specific services. Increase your publicity with interviews, workshops, social media, whatever you want. Feed the goal you want to grow. And that's really like feed the wolf you want to survive. It's something relevant. And then plan leisure time. I have done many years lots of work without ever considering that I need off time. Now I plan it in. It's as relevant as your work time because your mind will explode during that time. You will get a distant perspective, very important. Being on a problem too close all the time really makes the problem just bigger and you get lost in it. Stepping back, thinking something different, and then looking back will give you 1,000 ideas, a different perspective on the problem, which means usually it's a lot less, and you find better solutions. We call that the cave of silence. You pull away into another space, and then you look back with great success. And build your travel date, book your tickets, make it as solid as you can so that you can't deviate. This is when I go and I'm going to work towards it, that it's all finished by then. So you can't escape it. I started stand-up paddling. That's why I put that image here. It's not as easy as it looks. Somehow I wobble a bit more than anybody else. But it's fun and it's incredible relaxing and beautiful to be out in nature. So if you wanted to ride a bike, whatever you want to do, but book it in and do it. It will give you a different perspective on life. And let's face it, why do we work? Why do we all that thing? To have some joy in life. So don't ignore that factor. And the more you streamline, the more you delete all those repetitive tasks, the more you can afford that. Plus, you are more successful and earn more money. And that's exactly what our mastermind is all about. We really focus in on describing the issues that you might have at work and then find a solution how to get rid of it. It took me quite a while to come up with all those time wasters and get rid of them. Not because I didn't want to, I didn't even think of it. I had a guy come into my office to observe how we work and whether that could be improved. First day he said, "Do you want the first 100 points?" It actually is, from an outside perspective, very logical. You just get lost. And that's what those masterminds are for. We really focus that you don't get sidetracked, that you don't get lost, how you can resolve a problem very efficiently, that it's gone, and you can focus back on the essence of work. And that means having a very clearly defined product, having the right flow, and being precise in the way you deal with your work. And that will make a huge difference. All right? Tomorrow we'll talk about something that is very important. Communication, relationship with your clients, relationship with your colleagues, relationship with affiliates, everybody that wants to work with you. You are a leader. You have decided to lead a field. Now you need to communicate that really well with your clients and ask for fair exchange. Very clearly state, this is what you get, this is what I receive in return. And that is what we discuss tomorrow, all right? And now don't forget to share these exercises with your friends. We want as many passionate people as possible joining. So just press share underneath and we'll see you tomorrow.